Welcome to this video on file path and sync awareness. Now that you understand where your files are stored and how to access them, it's time to learn how to stay organized and avoid common mistakes when working with cloud files. Every file has a path, an address that tells you where the file or folder lives. When you open a file from OneDrive or SharePoint, it's important to know exactly where it's coming from. For example, if you open a document from your synced OneDrive folder in File Explorer, you're working on the cloud version. But if you open a copy directly from your email, or you save it to your downloads, you're working locally, and changes you make won't sync back to the original. To avoid confusion, always check the file path before you start editing. Ask yourself, is this file in OneDrive or SharePoint? Is it in a synced folder or just saved locally? Am I working on the latest version? This helps prevent editing the wrong file or losing changes. When you sync a SharePoint library to your computer, it shows up in File Explorer like a regular folder. But remember, it's still connected to the cloud. So if you rename, delete, or edit a file, those changes are shared instantly. So, how do we sync a SharePoint library or OneDrive with your computer locally? When you initially visit a SharePoint link to a shared folder, it will be displayed in Browser. At the top of the page, look for the Sync button in the toolbar. After clicking Sync, your browser may prompt you to allow OneDrive to open. Confirm this by selecting Open Microsoft OneDrive. The OneDrive app will now synchronize the files in this cloud location and link it to the folder on your computer, which will appear in your File Explorer under your university name, alongside other synced libraries if you have any. Any changes you make to files in a synced SharePoint folder will affect everyone who has access to that library. So if you rename, delete, or edit a file, those changes are shared instantly. Once your SharePoint library is synced and visible in File Explorer, you'll notice a status column next to your files and folders. This column shows small icons that tell you where your files are stored and how they behave. This is what the symbols mean. A cloud icon means the file is stored in the cloud and not currently downloaded to your device. You can still open it like normal, but it will download temporarily when you do. A green tick in a white circle means the file is available on your device, but it may be removed automatically if space is needed. It's still safely stored in the cloud. This usually displays when you've recently uploaded or worked on a file, but have not told it specifically to keep it locally. A solid green circle with white tick means the file is always available on your device, even when you're offline. It will only ever look like this if it has been marked to stay on your device permanently. You can control how files or folders behave by right-clicking them. You'll see two useful options. Always keep on this device. This downloads the file or folder and keeps it locally, so it's always available even without internet. And free up space. This removes the local copy from your device, but the file or folder stays safely in the cloud. You can still access it anytime. Syncing is powerful, but it's not perfect. Sometimes, sync errors can happen, especially if your internet connection drops or if there's a conflict between versions. If you spot a red X or to check if there are any sync errors, keep an eye on the OneDrive icon in your taskbar. Maybe the file couldn't upload or there's a problem with your connection. Or maybe there are multiple versions of the file, lots of people have been working on it and someone has moved the file whilst others are editing it. If it shows a warning or error, click it to see what's wrong. Many of the scenarios where the red is shown are immediately solvable by clicking the error message. The next video will be on sharing folders and files via named email access, generating links for unnamed access and version control. Remember to follow for more guides.